Evening, folks. I noticed my timer there had whipped around to 10 minutes again. Oh, that's that's no good. If it runs down to zero, it has to stay at zero. I'll fix that. But it's okay, because we're here now anyway. Good evening. Welcome aboard. We're doing a bit of class 40 this evening. There we go. Hold on. If I press the right button, that would help. I'm going to be rocking this double header from, I can't remember which way I'm going. I think I'll go Manchester to Murfield.
Okay,
which
where
should
you're
be a
going.
giggle. I'm going to restart it in a moment. Joining me, as is so often the case, is Natalie. Evening, Nat.
Hello, everyone. Hope you all have a happy 1st of December. I've come prepared with my elf hat on.
Yeah, it's an elf hat, is it?
Yeah, it's got little ears, look.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is something that I don't know. It must just be for the young people. I don't hold with that kind of behaviour at all. No, I just
So
don't.
we're not going to get you in a nice little elf costume for the next stream now?
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I'm driving this evening. Yeah, I know, because it's been a while. I've managed to duck the driving for some time. Yes, I'm aware that yes, I sometimes sport a helmet on the stream, but not on this one. No, that's for the other types of streams. Now, I've recently spent the best part of 10 minutes trying to figure out where the flipping master key is, and I got there eventually.
You did get there eventually.
I did get there eventually. It's always in the same place, but you look a bit and you kind of go, no, I can't see it, and you don't think to look around the other side. Anyway, I need to get the brakes over onto goods. Let's crank the windows open while we're at it. There we go. And I've got Ponytail driving shotgun today. Hang on, you're too high up. No, I don't want to sit in it. I want to. There you go. There you go. Sit down there. There you go. So you can just barely peek over the lip of the window. Yeah. No, there we are.
I'm going to be watching you vigilantly, Sam, so I can learn how to drive this. Hope you know that.
Well, thank you very much. Actually, I've got more in common with the Judder Man. For those of you who know the Judder Man, that's the styling that I sport. It's largely out of control at the moment. Actually, I need a haircut. But all being well, I'll get that sorted out in the next couple of days.
Speed Slayer said, I wonder, since you guys work from home, does it make making routes harder or doing anything in general? I think working from home has definitely come with like some complications, but everybody seems to be handling it really well, to be perfectly honest. Just a lot more video calls now, I guess.
Hold on, did I turn the master key off? Why are you now giving... No, hold on, no, I turned it on. I have turned it on. All right, why am I still locked out in the reverser? Hold on, maybe I need to I'll give this a bit of a thump. You never know. It sometimes helps. The Judder Man was the mascot of the discontinued Alcott Mets. Yeah, absolutely.
George Frost, thank you so much for editing.
Oh, it's because I put the throttle on, isn't it? That's why it's let me off. You'd think I'd know. But honestly, for those of you who've been around for longer than 3.5 minutes, you know for a fact that I know. The easiest stuff eludes me. But there you go. Right, good. Can't change a reverser unless you're in notch 0. I know. This is one of the things I know. But it just, I'd left it off my action item list for a moment there. Right, let's get some release off there. Don't put on too much throttle, because we're rocking the doubles here. So we've got to goose it to get it going. Too much all at once, and we'll wheel spin.
What are you driving, Sam?
There you go. See, look, there it is. There's the wheel spin. See?
Oh yeah.
Back down again. 20-ish% on the throttleometer will do the job, which previously I've had in notch 2. I don't know why it's taking me up to notch 4 to get that now. There you go. That's got it. Yeah.
For those who missed, can you tell the chat what you're driving?
Class 40, pair of them. This is from the BR Heavy Freight Pack, the Whistler, because it makes a whistling noise.
You have to do the whistling noise now.
The train makes a whistling noise. I can crank the volume of the game up, but then you wouldn't be able to hear what that's saying. I've tried to get the two in balance. You see, there's always something going on. It's not a scenario. This is a timetable service. I'm doing. What time is it? It's about 4:10 in the afternoon, and we're going from Leeds. No, we're going from Manchester. We're going from Manchester to Murfield. Mm-hmm. There you go. I can't remember what it's called, but you carry a decent amount of these T-wagons. This was Matt's recommendation. I asked Matt what he thought I should drive, and he said this. So I am doing. He said that the amount of racket that it makes should be quite splendid.
Oh, Sam, I've just seen a question that I've seen in previous streams that I didn't know the answer to, and I'm afraid you're the only one that can answer it. It says, was Colonel Failure streaming Train Sim before joining DTG?
Yes.
I didn't know the answer, and I said I would ask you.
Not streaming. I was making videos.
You were making videos.
I don't stream very often, but I do make quite a living on videos. But yeah, no, because I'd already built something of a reputation for, or I'd attracted quite a few train fans, so I go train trips. I knew people at Dovetail and had worked for them before starting from the channel, but only on a part-time basis, as a contractor. But I'd never covered the game.
Right.
There you go. What are my PC specs? Okay, I'm running an i9 9900K with a GTX 1080 Ti, and I've got 32 gig of RAM. I am running off a regular hard disk and not a solid state. Right, there you go. Let's give it the beans.
I thought Colonel was banned from the streams. No, we haven't banned
actually,
him.
It is a reference to my video counterpart. I like to keep two things separate wherever possible. But it seemed like it was actually a related question to the matter.
Yeah.
So I allowed this one. Can't hear you guys that well. Sit nearer to my mic. No. This is as near as I get. No, if the game's too loud, I'll sit in the cab. No, that's not helped, has it? I can drop the game volume a little bit more if you need me.
How long have you both worked at DTG? So I've been here it's been 3 months. 3 months today, I think, now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
You know what that means, don't you?
What does it mean?
All right, hang on, I'll drop the game volume a little bit. That means your 3 month review's coming up.
Ooh,
no
can't
pressure.
Wait.
There you go. I know, the one time we're driving a train that actually makes a suitable amount of noise and they tell me to turn it down. I'll resume.
How long have you been at DTG?
How long have I don't know, because it's complicated.
Ballpark.
I think I'm coming up on 2 years.
Okay.
But I started out doing 1 day a week as a consultant, and then went to 3 days a week on a part-time contract, and then I went to 4 days a week on effectively a full-time permanent contract. So I don't know what it counts. I don't know what it counts as. But there you go. But that's, yes, I do, because I wear a large number of different hats, depending on the mood. Right. Okay. Let's we'll do a fly past here. I've got a little while before anything significant happens.
Moggy said, "Can I have a 3 month review, please?" You can, and if you do well, Moggy, you can have an ice cream.
Matt said that I'm now 8 days a week. Yes, I'm in the same club as Matt in that, you all go all the time. It's not that long a train, Gabor. It's more a case that it's just heavy. As you can see, with this 2% upward climb that we've got going on, and I've got the throttle fully open. We're not, and I'm running 2 locos. We're not exactly building up a massive head of speed.
Any plans to add ray tracing into the PS5 and Xbox Series X versions of Train Sim World 2? Not that I know of. I don't think there's any major plans for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X just yet.
We
But
don't
please
have,
correct me if I'm wrong.
We don't have bespoke builds for next generation.
Yeah.
That's not something that we're actively working on at the moment. It will happen eventually, but
Yeah.
we don't. But there's nothing to talk about on that front at the moment. And as far as ray tracing support, it will probably come alongside, and I'm speculating a little here, but it will probably come alongside another engine update. So it will come alongside a whole bunch of extra bits and pieces. Now, whether that waits for Unreal Engine 5, well, that's multiple years in the future. But another Unreal Engine 4 update is certainly possible before then. Nothing to announce, but that's more or less where it's at. Matt knows better than me, but he's supposedly off duty. Or working on something French. Matt, keep working on the French thing. There you go. Look, what's up? Oh, not a lot. I'm about to go on holiday again. Yeah. Well, I
He hasn't
go
had
on
enough.
holiday, I mean, not work. Oh, and someone else asked me if I was getting an RTX 3000 card. Got it ordered. I've had it ordered now for 2 months. And last time I checked, I was number 450 something in the queue at Overclockers. Other retailers are available, but they haven't got one either. I've got a 3080 on order. Yeah. So TSW3 confirmed then. Winky face. You know, we might call the next one TSW3. We might.
I mean, it can't be any more confusing than it currently is, can it? Let's be perfectly honest.
It's always going to be confusing because the annual game that we do is we do the annual. The reason there's an annual release is that it's the gateway for new people to come in. Because it's a big turn-off to be looking for a thing to play, a new thing to play, and for it to be 2, 3, 4, 6 years old. And so while there is undoubtedly a bit of smoke and mirrors in what we do in taking the base game and calling it new, there's always new stuff in it, and it always comes alongside a bunch of updates to the core of the game. But it's, as such, it represents, this is a good jumping on point if you want to come with us on our journey from here. So that's why we do the annual release. For those of you who are already playing, of course, it's a nice way of getting multiple routes for the price of one, effectively. What we don't do very often, and in fact we've only done it once, is you can't carry on after this point unless you buy this year's annual release, which is what we did with TSW2.
Right.
And I, personally speaking, with my gamer hat on, I think the bang for buck you got from it was perfectly reasonable, but everybody's allowed their own personal take on it. You know, I get why we've done it, or why we did it, and I get, at the same time, why some people might be a little bit about us doing it, but there you go. That's the noise people make when they're generally disconsolate.
Uncanny.
We can always rename Train Sim World 2 to Train Sim World 2022 and go on from there. You know what? There are weirder suggestions out there. Could be Train Sim World 2022.
If the next one's like Train Sim World 2021 or 2022, I will actually cry because I feel like I need an advanced degree to figure out the names of all the games, honestly. It's taken me 3 months.
TSW 2.2. Okay, yeah, that's... I mean, the only one that I would voice my concern significantly would be Train Sim World 2 2022.
Right,
that will come up in conversation, I bet you. I don't think anybody's going to suggest it seriously, but I put money on it coming up as a, we could always call it. I don't think anybody's going to suggest that sensibly, but there you go. Train Sim World 2 2022 version 2.0.
Yeah.
See, yeah, Matt's getting involved. This is why we don't let you name them, Matt. There you are. Yeah. What train is this? I forget all about UK trains. This is a pair of Class 40 Whistlers, and we're running a heavy load Might not look like it because there are only tanks there, but of course liquid is pretty heavy to haul around, and they're all full at the moment. And so far, I'm doing a pretty good job. I've already had a scouting mission on the brakes, so I know that I need to plan ahead.
Turnip Gaming asked, now, on the new French TGV route, will the maximum speed be at least 200 miles per hour? Now, I don't know what the conversion is into kilometres.
Oh, hold on. No, it will be. So
Will it?
160 kilometres per hour is 100 miles per hour. Give or take,
Okay.
round it.
So it's going to...
Come on, you saw the presentation this morning.
I did, but that was in kilometres as well. It's like... It's
Yeah,
three-
okay, look, think about the number that was mentioned in that.
I can't... It's
You
320,
can't
isn't
remember,
it?
can you?
It's 320, I'm sure of it.
Right, okay, so if it's 320 kilometres an hour, how much
Googling
is
it.
that in miles an hour if 160 kilometres an
It's-
hour is 100 miles an hour?
It's 198.84 miles per hour.
Yes, it does 200. Is the easy answer.
Well, now they have the exact number.
Yeah, there you go. So yes, it does.
Trying to do mental maths on the top of your
will
head.
do.
is not-
320 is the line limit, I think, or the line top speed. But with the amount of gradient slopes you've got to go down, I'm sure enterprising individuals who care not for safety will find a means of going a bit faster than it. Me, for one.
Are you going to let gravity assist you?
I'm gonna rip it. Yeah. Yeah, no, there you go. And Matt has totally not been faster than 320 kilometres an hour, which means he totally has.
Apparently he said the miles per hour too, and I just missed that bit. Sorry, Matt. I've been listening to kilometres the whole time.
It's one of the easier ones to do. It's just 1.6 to 1. It's relatively straightforward.
It's not easy when someone's like pressuring you to do it in front of like 100 people.
It's only 300 people. Oh, relax. It's okay. It's all good. And they're all here waiting for the moment where I take the camera outside the train like this. I turn the interface off, right, and then I'll whiz it up here a bit. Hold on, right, and then I get myself into a good position. This looks promising.
You're about to show off with a kernel cam.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Now we can get relatively close here. All right, there you go.
I'll have
Let's
to know.
start moving. No, I'm not going too fast.
Oh.
This is how you kernel cam.
Yeah, okay, it's brilliant. You're much better than me. You've been here 2 years.
I've got a little bit too much inward swing there, but it started
little
off pretty
bit.
sweetly. Yeah, you see, look, the votes are coming
Yeah,
in now.
11 out of 10.
All of
100
that.
out of 10,
Look at
come
this. And now we're getting a little bit of muddying the foreground going on.
There's no way that was 100 out of 10. It was like a solid 80.
Very nice. Binary
Bob
run,
Powell
you
gave you
are.
5 out of 10.
Don't suck up to Natalie. She's not going to fall for it.
Yes, she is.
She's a
Absolutely
grown-up.
is. Look, there's a 4 out of 10. I like you.
No.
Lovely.
No. That's Project
Yes.
Theo. No, I don't believe it. No, that's not happening. There you are. No, that was a good one. But you've got to get your distance from the track. Has to be, because the further you are from the train, the relative speed of the camera is slightly different. So the train will move at a different speed. But what you want is to be tracking the camera and the train to just ever so slightly be overtaken. There you go. You cheat. You don't have the safety systems on, Gary. It's so that we can talk to you. That's why we don't put the safety systems on when we're on the stream, so that we can have a conversation with you while we're driving the train. If we put the safety systems on, you'd be concentrating all the time on actually pushing the button. And
I mean,
besides which, there's no such thing as cheating in a train simulator.
When I was trying to drive,
Play
I
it your
could
own
just
way.
about read the chat and drive. So trying to do the safety systems on top of that. Although I did sort of promise the chat I'll try some of the basic safety systems at some point.
AWS is really easy. You just got to,
Yeah.
you just got to keep your wits about you and thump the button once in a while.
I was like, I'll try some of the safety systems, and then someone's like, do them all at once, and it's like, wow.
Oh, and there's no safety systems on this route anyway because this is a historic route.
Oh, there you go then.
So there you go. I could have said that to start with, but actually
could have said that.
we do have a legitimate reason for not turning safety systems on. Oh crikey, I'm well over speed. All right, we better go for full application. I'm going to bang the loco brake on as well. I am not going to get down to 15 in 400 yards. I was saying that. No, there's a fighting chance. Fighting chance.
What being asked, do we even use the safety system? Let's try that again. Do we even use the safety systems off stream? Currently, no. I'm still trying to learn how to get the
For
trains
learning purposes,
to go and stop.
Definitely.
But
I quite like running now. You see, I left it too late before taking the brake back off. If I'm driving a German train, I'll usually stick Seefer on. Oh no, I'm on a slope. This is going to be a tricky one to get rolling.
Can we see your failure? Yeah, I was going to say, can we see watch the failure from outside?
You've got to goose it. No, too much goosing. I'll go with the sand if I can't get it au naturel.
I really shouldn't be too harsh though, because there's no way I could do this right now. So.
All right, hold on. There you go.
Should we get out of bush?
Yes. Yeah, we're probably. No, hold on. I've got it. There we go. There you go. I just left it too late before turning the brake off. Oh, no, still a little bit of slippage.
Just a bit.
Get it rolling. No brake on. You've got to wait for all the wagons to release their brakes. No, I don't. As is plainly clear. We're rolling. If they haven't released their brakes, that's on them. I gave them fair warning. I sounded the horn and all sorts. Do you guys have the train cab controller? Personally, no, I don't have one. You haven't got one either. This is Rail Driver, for those of you who are asking. But I'm looking forward to using the joystick because I've got a HOTAS. So, that's what it does. That's what HOTAS does. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to being able to use that.
Are you going to do that on stream?
I'm going to do that on stream. I probably won't need that bit. I'll be honest. It's just this bit. I'll try remapping something to that, but I don't think that's coming in the first release anyway. Is this Tees Valley? No, it's not. This is Northern Transpennine. It's not as good as a guitar for controlling it. Yeah. You know, that was my idea. It was one of my many ideas of things to punish Matt with on stream during last year's Festival of Rail. I've got to start coming up with some more. There'll be another Festival of Rail at some point. Wait, TSW2 getting joystick support eventually. Rail Driver's coming though, and it's largely the same the software support for the hardware that is required. But in the first instance, it's only going to be Rail Driver, and then later, once it settles down a bit, there will be other control schemes added as well. That's the plan.
Hi Sam, it's December now. Any chance you can give us a slight hint about your upcoming surprise? Now they've been trying to get some kind of hint out of me and Jamie for a while now to no avail.
It would help if you knew what it was, I guess. And there's two. There's two surprises. There's not one.
Ooh.
There's two. I'm going to stick one. I'm going to stick one of them on the roadmap on the 22nd.
On the 22nd.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
You should make Matt run TSW with a Wii floorboard. I was thinking of Dance Dance Revolution, Matt. There you go. Yeah, Moggy suggested it. Personally, I want to be able to use the Donkey Konga congas, but I don't think there's quite enough buttons going on there. Yeah. Is Rail Driver coming with console? No. Afraid not. We do want to give a little bit more control to console players. but there's nothing in the works for that at the moment. There you go. And for those of you asking if I've got the lights on, yes, I have. They're definitely on, and if I could get outside the train, I'd show you, but I can't, so I won't. Yeah, there you go. Can you please try and do the Star Wars horn?
That's because me and Jamie did it the other day.
What's
we
the
tried.
Star Wars horn?
It's like, I wrote it down. You go like up. You know, you have the 2 volumes, and you can do like a bit of the Imperial March. No.
No, you can't.
You can.
No, the interval's wrong. You
You can
no,
do it a little bit.
No,
You can-
the
it sort
interval
of does.
between the 2 notes is wrong. You can't do it. No, you can't. No,
So
no.
the answer to that is no. He's not.
no,
gonna
you
do
can't
it.
do it. It's
You'll
not a
go.
thing. Just, like, seriously, give it a just. No. There you go.
Binary run. Did Natalie remind you to turn on the headlights?
No, I
She's
did it. I
really
did it
good
in
at
my
it.
own record.
That is a dig because I am a bit famous for not.
You
ever
haven't heard
putting
this
headlights
loco
on.
whistling? Hold on, I'll sit outside, and then you can listen to it. It whistles a merry tune, or it's got a bit of a whistle to the. As soon as it lets me go outside again. Currently, I'm trapped in my cab. Let me out. What do you mean I can't do another Colonel Can forever? I think we've got to wait for the rest of the train to exit the tunnel. It's definitely Imperial March. No, it won't be. There you go.
Is there really a Star Wars horn? It's not actually a Star Wars horn. It's just you do it in a way that it's supposed to sound like the Imperial March. I said it. That's the way it's supposed to be done. That's the way.
It's the wrong interval.
Get that.
It will thus be out of tune. That even just doing the first notes, the first interval is wrong, and therefore it's wrong. Just seriously, no. Right, there you go. Try the Close Encounter theme. I can't remember the theme from Close Encounters, or do you mean the? Hold on. No, you can't do that either. No, you can't. George, you can disagree as strongly as you like, but I think you'll find you need to go up a semitone on the bottom note. Otherwise it doesn't work. Right. Now, cooling towers. Yes. Beautiful. Now, I don't know if it's these, actually. Someone will know. But the A1 runs past a cooling tower in exactly this this design. And every time I drive past it, because you go proper up close, and it's on a flyover as well, so you're like halfway up the cooling tower, and you go right past it, and it gives me the heebie-jeebies. Really does. Massive things up close just make me go, flipping heck, that's unnerving.
How do you manage in like cities?
No, skyscrapers, because they're broken up, but they're not massive like a cooling tower is massive. They're massive in a different way. Look, I'm just wired odd, all right? Just soak it up. But there you go.
Okay.
You're trying to listen to the train, but there's too much talking. You don't come here to not have talking.
It's kind of the point.
Talking's the thing we do. There you go. I'll get in a bit closer. Right, you've listened to the train. The talking will now commence once more. There used to be some near Didcot. That bridge was the A1. Was it really? Okay. In that case, it probably is though. Yeah. Was that a flying pig between the stacks? Now, the only thing I can think that is that must be a Pink Floyd reference, but that's the whatchamacallit power station, Battersea.
What is the next new route in development in Train Sim World 2?
Go.
It's LTV, isn't it?
Yep. Where does it go from and to?
Um,
Name one of the two at least.
starts with an M,
It does. And
I
which
can't
country is
pronounce
it in?
I can find it. It's French.
It's French. Okay, right. So we're looking for
Marseille,
French.
Marseille, or something like that. This something. I can't pronounce it.
Marseille.
Marseille. There you
It's
go.
not difficult. And the other one?
Two.
It's not Macclesfield.
I can't remember. I want to say like Avignon or something.
Very good. It's Avignon. And someone just tipped you off on that, or you looked it up. You can't fool
I
me.
did not.
No chance.
Okay.
Marseille Avignon is the
I did not
LGV route
cheat.
we're
I
doing.
didn't cheat.
You'll get your chance to see it as well pretty soon.
I didn't cheat.
Are we on this week? Is it this week that me and Matt are doing the preview, or is it next week?
It might be this week.
No, either way, it's coming up pretty soon.
I can find
So
out.
we've got a couple of previews planned for that. So you'll get plenty of chance to see it before we kick off.
That did not
there you
cheat. Yeah. No, but I'm actually really looking forward to that route, just because you can go so fast.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, even doing the ICE 3M out of Colne was particularly good fun the first time you do it, because if you keep the motion blur turned on, which
Yeah.
many a time you don't want to keep the motion blur turned on, always a cheeky 101 going past. And then the camera tries to get out of its way, despite the fact I've given it acres of space. I need an option in the menu to turn off camera no clipping. Please, and thank you, Matt, since you're here. You shouldn't be. Do some work. Yeah.
Are the French safety systems more complex, difficult to learn than PZB? I don't actually know about the
They're going to.
complexities.
Well, I don't know about difficult to learn, but they'll be different.
Yeah, there's more, I believe.
4.
Yeah.
4 safety
Yeah.
systems. There you go. Good. Matt's had some French speech coaching for the voiceover. No, he hasn't. Matt, you know that people don't pick up on you being sarcastic in textual chat. That is how promises are inadvertently made. We do not want your faux français as voiceover on the LGV route. Thank you. Good. Who's the one getting filthy rich off all the DLC profits? No one. No one's getting rich off all the DLC profits. Dean, I don't know if you're a regular and therefore, you've kept that to yourself this whole time or not. But we've mentioned before, the whole reason why we have so much DLC is to give you choice. Because we don't expect you to buy all of it. Obviously, if you want to, you can do, but you don't need all of it to have a full experience. Some people in the chat will give you some examples of how much time they spend on a single route. But if you were to go through everything on one route, that would be 30, 40, 50 plus hours at least that you sink into that one route. And that's why they are, they're seen as almost independent games on their own. But we want to give you choice, so we do a variety of stuff to allow you to pick and choose the bits that you want. And you don't need to pick it all up on the same day, because it's going to take you a little while to get through it all first. So the same is true of Train Simulator as well. That's why there's so many, because we're not going to sell one per person who plays it. We'll sell one for every 9 or 10 who play it, at the very, 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 very most. So no one at Dovetail is driving an executive sports car. No, that's not what we're about. We're about giving people who are into the hobby of rail fandom the choice to drive the stuff that they really want to do. That's the only reason that there's so much here.
Natalie, and Sam, on the first stream of LGV, can you please stream it on console so we can see how well it performs? So, I'm not sure which one of us is actually streaming.
We'll keep a note of that, yes. And
But yeah.
we'll do it on a current gen console as well. it's all a question of what the build state is, but we'll make sure we do one of the streams on console.
It just might not be the first.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. The reason we don't stream on console very often is the majority of us only have one piece of streaming hardware, and it's always a PC. So getting set up with all of the bells and whistles and stuff that we have going on, it only really works on a PC, and we don't want to be blowing budget on setting up what would effectively be 4 separate streaming solutions to make this stuff work. So that's why we lean into using PC so often, is because it's the easiest.
We do have a response from Matt though. He said he should be able to get a build on his own Xbox. So.
Yeah, so it'll be a dev kit build, but it'll be pre-release anyway. So we'll probably do that no matter what. And if nothing else, we'll be able to capture some gameplay on console to show off, no matter what we stream. So we won't doctor that in any way. You'll be able to tell if we have done. So you'll get a feel for the sort of performance level that you should expect.
Andrew said, never thought it would happen, but Miles Platting seems to have been fixed.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah.
The Miles Platting error, the Miles Platting crash that used to occur was down to memory usage, and we've been working a lot on improving the way and the volume of memory that is used, because we've got to. The original Xbox One is it can struggle now to keep up with everything that we've got going on, and the base PS4 is not far behind it in terms of being right at the limit. So we're having to invest extra time into efficient use of memory, and so the happy byproduct we get from that is that there may be some increase in performance that comes along with it, additional stability that comes along with it, but we've still got a lot further to go. Yeah.
Phantom 66 said, I was looking forward to seeing you guys at Wally Model Railway show at the NEC Birmingham, hopefully next year. It'd be nice to see people.
I'm looking forward to it. I didn't get to go last time around. I'd be well up for going to a model railway show. The only thing is that my other half would have to steal my bank cards and other cash purchasing stuff on.
Put a limit on your account.
I am so close to buying a train set. It's just not funny. If I had the space, it would have happened already. I'd have disappeared upstairs one evening, come back downstairs and go like, I might have just bought a grand's worth of things.
And you regret nothing.
Although that said, because I'm a complete heretic, I'm more likely to buy a bunch of stuff from the US and build an American train set here in Blighty.
I would love one of those.
Or something German, Swiss, kind of mid 20th century. That would work quite nicely.
See, I'd prefer the garden railways you can ride on in your own back garden. I'd love one of them instead.
The garden railway would be ace, but but the first job there is get a garden.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Get a really big one. A bit of end gauge. Richard, I'm with you, but what I'm less into. I want to go the full DCC route and automate the heck out of it. I've done the research, see. And the other thing that I want to do is I want to do post-apocalyptic. I'm going to make a post-apocalyptic model railway at some point. I can see it all in my head really quite clearly. But that's because I've got rather more Warhammer 40k running through me than I realistically should as a bloke in my mid-40s. In my defence, I did buy first edition the day it came out at the age of 13. So when it was Rogue Trader, I bought the first edition on the day it came out. Yeah.
Well, you're going to have to help me with some of these German pronunciations, okay? But it says, Nat, I've done nearly 10,000 miles on
Schnellfahrstrecke.
Schnellfahrstrecke.
Schnell, fast, far, travel, Strecke, not sure, probably route, maybe line.
And then come.
Yeah,
And
that's the one. No, Harlequins are a bunch of cheating, flipping elves, Moggy, and you know it.
and over 2,000 miles on Hauptstreck München Ausflug. That
Yeah.
is an amazing amount of distance. How
Yes.
long did that take you?
Yeah, no, quite so.
Yeah, Turnip, how long did it take you to accomplish all that? Because that's amazing.
That's a goodly amount of time sunk in.
It is.
Why is there no nighttime lighting on routes in TSW2? Depends. The lighting, overall, our lighting can always be improved. There is room for improvement on the lighting. It's not bad, but it's not all it can be. So there is lighting at night time when it's appropriate, but also it's possibly a little too light at night time. I don't know. It depends on your point of view. I mean, that's I'm going over limit again here. All right, hang on. Give me a bit of break. So I'm not paying attention. We're going to be a bit over speed, but it shouldn't be critically over speed.
Natalie, have you driven the Dash 8 yet? If so, how do you like it? I haven't actually given it a go yet. I feel like that'd be a little bit too challenging for me at the moment, but I am going to give it a go at some point. But...
Just stick it in scenario planner. What a good thing to do is if it's a loco that can stand alone, stick it in scenario planner without any wagons on it, just so you can get a handle on using the loco.
Yeah, I feel like I'd get frustrated if I couldn't get it moving. But practice, I guess.
It depends on the route, Dean. I mean, quite a lot of rail routes don't have lighting at night, even now. But again, it depends on which route you're talking about and where you're talking about. Yeah.
TGV release date. We don't give dates on stream.
You have to fill that out with a little bit more. Go on.
So, with what?
Go on. You've got to pad that out. You just can't say we don't give dates out on
Yeah,
stream.
we can't
You've got to
give you
expand.
the
You've got to give them the full story.
So we can give you like a bits of information, and we can tell you that it's coming soon, but we can't give you an exact date for when it's going to release, because oftentimes it changes. So if we gave you a date today that we're told it's going to release, it could change for all we know, and then we'd get shouted at by you.
Yes. So,
Okay.
okay, all right, that wasn't bad. But here's the thing. So these streams typically are pretty casual. If we're doing a preview stream, then there's a rough chance we'll announce the release date of the thing we're previewing. But on these regular, hey, we're going to drive some stuff. Then we're not going to announce anything. We might offer more insight into stuff we've spoken about before, but we won't release we won't give you the release date and stuff. We'll make rather more of a song and dance about that, because that's a core function of marketing. And these streams are rarely about marketing. They're more about giving you the opportunity to talk to us, which I know it has kind of a marketing kind of a feel to it. But no, it's all about, you get to ask your questions, we get to answer what we can do. But release dates aren't part of that. They'll have like a snazzy video, or at the very least some heavily, definitely not been through Photoshop on Instagram or something like that, and it all looks snazzy and dramatic, and will make you go, fancy that, and that's how we do release dates. Yeah.
You're being asked for an outside camera.
No problem. Hold on, I just got to check my speed because we're going downhill at the moment. Yeah, should be alright. Also, someone asked for a passenger camera that was locked in the same way as it is on TSW, on train sim, I should say, so that you could ride along as a passenger while still driving the train. There we go. This is more driving through the field on my tractor at high speed, trying to keep pace with the train while looking sideways. It's not bad.
I feel like
though.
your other Colonel cam was much better than this one.
Not bad. Yeah. Oh no, the earlier one was great. That's not an easy one to get right every time. You need the right section of track as well. These trains do need to churn out more lag. Say what? Mark, I saw your question earlier about clag. Yes. Earlier you asked about if there was any predictability toward when sales are, particularly on console. The one thing I'd suggest is check last year's calendar. So check 2019 and look when stuff went into sale in 2019 and see if that was around a particular time of year or a particular holiday or something like that, because there's a high chance that'll come round again. Our sales windows on console, we're restricted to when we can put stuff on sale. This is outside of our control. We have much more control over what we do on Steam, less so on console. So there's always going to be fewer opportunities, but we try and make sure that those opportunities are decent.
And also take into consideration how recent a console sale might have been. So if there's one just been on console and then PC get one, see how close together it would be, because we have a limited amount of time. Not limited. We have a cooldown that we're not allowed to release another.
You have a lockout time.
Yeah.
Where you can't have another sale too close to a previous sale, and that's across all three platforms. There's rules.
So if you're thinking why PC got one and console haven't, it could be a situation where PC, their cooldown has ended, but the console one hasn't yet.
Yeah. There's been no DLC on sale on Xbox for 6 months.
Okay.
If only there were some kind of worldwide holiday coming up, which is typically accompanied by some form of sale window immediately after it. I can't think what that would be, but no, I don't know.
Mine's drawing a blank.
Hold on, we've got a buddy. There you go. I don't even give him both notes, so you can just have one of them. Could you make a TSW model by scanning? Oh, no, you went the wrong way, you clown, and you've activated the emergency brake. It's okay. It's alright. It's released again. We're okay.
Did you just push the wrong button?
No, I went the wrong way.
I've done that before. I pushed the wrong button the other day, and then I can't remember what I did actually.
And the short answer is, yeah, you probably could. It would be rubbish. But you probably could scan a model that way. There isn't a way of importing it to TSW, or at least there is no official way of doing it. You can import it into Unreal without too much trouble, but there's no way to import it directly into TSW because we don't run. There is no public editing system for TSW. But while you could scan it, you'd probably be better off building one from scratch. Building stuff in 3D is actually not that difficult. What's difficult is becoming expert at it to where you can create near perfect reproductions of the real thing. And whether that's a car or a tanker or what have you, it doesn't really matter. That's the skill is in being able to reproduce reality and identifying which bits of the real deal are important to reproduce and which you can use a little bit of movie magic to just do as part of the texture. So there you go. Try it, well. I'm waiting for Munich to come on sale. I'll just have to wait a little bit longer. Well, that's the other thing, is if you're waiting for stuff to go on sale, then at some point you'll catch up. So the sale window, the next one that comes along, you'll be ready for a new bit, which will be a piece of content that came out a year ago, 6 months ago, whatever it is. So you should then have something fresh to pick up every single sale if you wait.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, that would be, you know, I'm constantly looking for ways in which one could game the system. And there are, but some of it's going to be patience.
DTG has license agreement for SNCF, hence TGV. Does this include Tails?
Or Tails? I don't know. I don't know what Tails is. What a word or fails. If it's French, it's more likely to be Tails. But I don't know, Richard. What is it? What's that then?
Yeah.
Matt's knocking around, so...
I was going to say, I wonder if he's still in there.
Thalys.
Oh, Thalys. That explains why we pronounced it wrong.
Right, okay. I don't know what that is either. Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't really help, actually. All that did was help us pronounce it correctly.
The marine trains from France to Belgium and Netherlands. Gotcha. Are they owned by the same conglomerate? So is SNCF part of Thalys, or are they entirely separate entities? They're completely different companies. Because while I don't have a concrete answer for you, what I can say is if we've got SNCF and they're part of the same organisation, then that could mean we have a slightly easier time of it if we were to try and get the other one. If they are entirely separate, then it's the same as going from scratch, effectively, as we have to start that conversation again.
It says, yeah, owned by SNCF, but apparently Thalys drive in Germany as well.
Right. Okay. So yeah, right. So what we've got is we've got the SNCF license that we need in order to do the route that we're doing. There are some limitations to that that we'll talk about on the first stream that comes up, because you're going to want to know. We're going to tell you. But yeah, it only extends as far as the route that we're doing. So sail for DLC soon.
Oh.
Well, Tube fan, read between the lines of what I was saying mere moments ago. Also, that whole trick about looking at what happened in 2019.
There you go.
Maybe there's something in that.
How difficult is it to get licensing from companies? Doesn't it vary from company to company? Are some licenses easier to get than others?
Yes. Yeah, because, well, I mean, look, let's say you go to one train company and they don't have a licensing department. Because they do not consider it to be a core part of their business. Mm-hmm. And you kind of go, well, okay, yeah, I can probably see, hold on, we've got a yellow here, I'm going to ease it back a bit. Also, this feels like I'm going very fast.
It does.
It's because I am.
Considerably, that's why.
Okay, right. I didn't see that speed limit change come up.
It's fast because you're breaking the speed limit.
Yeah, no, I didn't see the limit change.
I love the sway in the cab then as well. Like.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, we got through it all right. We didn't kill anybody. Nobody died. Everything's fine. That's all good. I'm going to need to get the throttle back on, though, otherwise we'll stop. Do we have to pay for licenses? There's more than one way to negotiate a license. That's the only thing we can say on that. It varies. There are varying different rules from license to license about how we go about security. And I'm not going to go into any more detail than that. Largely because I'd be speculating where I should do so. But I know that there isn't a one size fits all when it comes to negotiating a license.
You weren't supposed to stop there, were you?
No.
Okay.
No, my stop's not for another couple of miles. At gunpoint doesn't count. Flipping does if they sign the documentation. Let's zip along. We're going to do the opposite Colonel can, because this too can be pretty satisfying.
Well, good. Go with that.
Yeah, gradually overtaking it. This is ideal, except it's going to take us ages to get to the head end, by which time I'll probably be going too fast for this to be appropriate. Let's zip up a little bit, and then let's zip back a little bit. And then let's get the camera angle right again. Now, I've blown it. That's all over. Hold on, wait. With the
Oh.
sunlight dappling through the trees. And now the train's going a little bit too fast. We'll get ahead of it again. Trees, 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 trees. I know where I am. Get down.
Oh, so when is the big surprise coming? Have you given them a date for when the big
No,
surprise
I'm
is?
not going to give them a date. Who do they think I am? A calendar? Here we go. Here it comes. Here we go. Brace yourselves. Great.
Damn, that's really good.
You have to do it a lot. To get it's more about knowing how to set up to get it to work right. I haven't had it right either time this evening. It's just been... Also, trains that move at about this speed really do make it very easy.
Yeah.
Cooking it
Trying
along
to
at
do one
around
of the fast
40
ones.
is spot on. There you go, just grumbling along in notch 5 at the moment.
Matthew said
To sum
40
it up, licenses is complicated, and even if I did know how exactly everything works, I wouldn't be able to tell you anyway. What it what? Yeah, complicated like it's a conscious decision that the company made eons ago that authenticity was all important when it came to the routes and the trains that we run, and therefore we should make sure we're using the real deal wherever possible, and that's what we aspire to. That's why we don't have knockoffs, we don't have unbranded stuff. Wagons we might do it from time to time, but again we'll try and make sure that those are authentic, at least in terms of their construction, the way they're put together and so on. Because the boss is a big train fan, and he said no, authenticity is massively important, so that's the way that we've gone. It looks like I'm volunteering to make the next promo. Hey, look, this is where my appreciation comes in. This is the driving at the right speed, stopping perfectly, putting all the safety systems on. I can take it or leave it. But setting up a very nice passing shot, I'll quite happily spend most of the day doing that. Just because, well, it's got a nice challenge to it, and when you get it right, you kind of go, that's nice. But hey, that's just
we're being asked what route is this on, so for anybody that missed it, what route are we doing, Sam?
What route are we doing, Nat?
I knew you were going to do
Come on, the BR Heavy Freight Pack. What route does it run on?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Well, it's got to be one of two, right? This route, there are two routes set in this era. It's got to be one of them, right? What are either of the two routes that are set in this era, where you've got BR Blues going on? And if someone's tipping you off, which they clearly are based on what you're looking at,
They're not.
I'm gonna be unimpressed.
Someone's gonna tell you. Thank you, Rachel.
You could argue there are three, but one of them doesn't count, and you know it.
Northern Transpennine.
You read the chat. That doesn't count.
Chat.
Right. You've got to do more homework.
Chat off
You've
my
got
back.
to know this stuff. Also, you could have just paid attention to when I said it earlier on. Look, someday I won't be here to distract people with my own levels of incompetence, and you'll be left with just your own incompetence to hold everybody's attention. And then where will we be?
Yeah, we'll be alright.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Gabor asks, what's the other one? If this is Northern Transpennine, what's the other one? I'm just being mean now. The other route that's set in this era.
Oh, come on! We're not even doing that one.
No, we're not.
Genuinely don't know.
It's Tees Valley Line. Yeah.
See, the chat was kind of...
Natalie's still new. But I'll tell you something, is it is tough to learn all of this stuff. I was looking... I was told I was doing the BR Heavy Freight this evening, which I went, great, love doing BR Blues. And I went into Northern Transpennine, and I went, no, it's not in there. I asked Matt for a recommendation on a good run to do, and he suggested this one. And I went, well, I've got the Class 40 in here. I'm sure this is on NTP. So I went to Tees Valley Line thinking it must be on this one. And it wasn't on there either. And I went like, okay, it's not on Great Western. So, you know, you can catch yourself out even when theoretically you know what's what. Turns out, of course, that I hadn't actually got a key for the BR pack. Despite having asked Mike for one. But it's Mike's birthday, so I'm not going to be mean to him. I'll be mean to him when he gets back from his birthday tomorrow. Yeah, so I went out and bought it with my own personal spending money, which is fine. But buying one once in a while is okay. I don't mind that too much. It's only a tenner. You get a good couple of rip snorting engines. What's your favourite train?
Mine.
Yeah, so far. What have you enjoyed the most?
So on the game, my favourite one I've enjoyed is the Isle of Wight one. I really enjoyed that.
Why?
Because I liked the little route. It was a nice chill route, and then I did it at sunset, and it was a fun one to drive, and I just liked it. I liked it more than all the others just because it was.
That's every reason that everyone has for liking Route 1 or Train 1 versus Train 2 is entirely subjective. It's a personal thing of why you choose one over another one. Yeah.
But that's my favourite so far. I do expect that the more I get through, the more likely it is I'll find another favourite. So,
yeah.
Who knows what reason?
You'll find that some are more fun to drive than others, and it's why I like the 101, which is that little two-car passenger thing that we passed earlier on. I like that because it's so different to drive.
Yeah.
It's not fast. It's clanky. You know, I've ridden on them. That helps too. Is having a bit of real-world familiarity doesn't hurt. But I like it because it's fun to drive.
Yep.
No, not going fast enough.
Have you tried the Peninsula Corridor Natic? I have. I actually drove it on stream.
Yeah, you did. What did you drive? You drove Baby Bullet, didn't you?
Yeah, but I drove the other end.
Oh, from the cab car.
Yeah, I'll have to do it again from the front, the
spaceship end.
Yeah, because it's incredible inside that thing. It looks like a shuttle.
Yeah, I like driving the Gronk as well. The Gronk is great fun.
Is it you and Moggy that love the Gronk?
No. It's just Moggy is an obsessive, but it is good fun because it's very, very, very simple and very responsive.
Mhm. Actually, to be honest, I quite liked the one, the Bakerloo one.
More or less the same train as the one you drove on Isle of Wight.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, people are going to tell me how very wrong I am, but they're being picky. It's more or less the same train.
I wasn't very good at it, but I do like how responsive it is.
Come on, keep it rolling, keep it rolling. Oh yeah, I've done acceleration that's super quick and brakes that are super quick. Fabulous.
Yeah, it's very forgiving if you don't brake soon enough.
Well, what you need to do though is you now need to try and hit the timetable, because that's a mission and a half. That is in no way easy, because you've got to come into every station at full pelt and hit the brake at the exact right moment. Right, give me some brakes now, please. How are we going to do here?
You're keen on the 101, aren't you?
Yep.
And Jamie drove one in a stream. I think it was last week.
He's better at driving it than I am, but Jamie's a purist. So he really knows his stuff.
He does. He usually helps me with all my questions.
Yeah. Good. Right, there you go. That's your lot. That's us done for the day. That's like, we're supposed to finish at an hour after we start, and we're only 4 minutes over. I only sped a couple of times. And that was the second time, in my own defence, was because I didn't spot the speed limit change. These things happen.
That's not an excuse.
Right, who's on tomorrow? What have we got tomorrow?
Tomorrow we have Matt and Jamie, because it's Workshop Wednesday.
Workshop Wednesday, and then on Thursday
we have Jamie and Matt doing South Wales
which
Coastal.
means it's you and me again on Friday.
it's me and you again on Friday, and I will be driving the ICE.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. You're going to need to learn all the buttons before then.
Yes, that's
There's
what
a lot of
I plan
buttons.
on. Yeah.
I reckon you should drive it with LZB.
I reckon that's a terrible idea.
No. LZB's easy as pie. PZB, a living nightmare that makes no sense to anybody at all. LZB, on the other hand, great fun.
All right, I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I say that. I've done it once, and I had Matt telling me exactly which button to press and when.
You just tried to sabotage me, and we haven't even started that stream yet.
Yeah. Use PZB, everybody says. No. Not unless it's mandatory. And
Everybody
that will be...
wonders.
LZB is just cruise control. It's a doddle. Right, thanks for tuning in. It is Workshop Wednesday tomorrow, and the delving through the endless wonders of the Steam Workshop continues. Then you've got Matt and Jamie again on Thursday, where they're doing something.
South Wales
It doesn't really matter, does it? You want to tune in again for the next pairing of the Dream Team, where Natalie will be ripping the ICE, and I'll be making.
You will not be sabotaging me this time.
I'll be making dad jokes. Great. Okay, thanks for watching. Cheerio.
Have a good night, everyone.